Time to recap last week's tech news and another tech news roundup. What's happening, everyone? This is Jim with Skool's Tech Talk again, back with another episode of our tech news roundup. This week we got news from Intel with a hold my drink moment, AMD showing us stuff we'll never have, Google predicting the future, and a few other tips and stories and rumors from around the tech world. So let's just jump into it. Our first story this week comes from Intel in the hold my drink moment, as they've been getting their butts handed to them in speed. Intel's flagship HEDT, or HEDT, or high-end desktop, whichever you want to call it, Core i9-10980XA Cascade Lake X CPU is rumored or is said to have hit 5.1 gigahertz across all cores. Now, the i9-10980XE is going to be their flagship high-end desktop part. To stay competitive in the market, they've gone and slashed prices almost in half to stay close to what or below what AMD is offering. Now, the last time Intel came out with this, we hit 5 gigahertz on all cores, they were using a chiller. And if you're not familiar with what a chiller is, go do a Google search, but it's an industrial cooler. But they are claiming that they've hit 5.1 on a standard regular AIO. Of course, as with anything in the computer world, it's subject to the silicone lottery. So you're going to have your ones that are really good. You're going to have your ones that aren't even going to come close. So just letting you know, PC Gamer Zen had an interview with Mark Walton where he discusses the overclocking. You can overclock the heck out of these and get some really interesting results. For example, we've had the 10980XE, the 18-core processor, up as high as 5.1 gigahertz in the lab using standard liquid cooling. And that, I believe, is all cores. This is just an example of one particular chip we've had in the lab. So this might not be reflective of all chips. Just to be clear on that, every chip is different. Some chips will overclock better than others, but it is possible. Now, it's not really surprising that Intel has been able to truly hit above 5 on a processor. They've been on the 14 nanometer architecture for a while. I don't know, it's like plus to the 10th power. So it's very mature, so they should be able to get a lot out of these chips at this point. In a recent Geekbench test, the Intel 1090XE processor hit over 51,000 for a point score. Comparatively, the AMD's 2950X only hit approximately 31,000. So the price to performance is there, and I bet you're wondering what the price is, because last year's, they were $2,000. This year, when they do get released, they're going to be roughly $1,000. So you're looking, I think last year's numbers was, if you wanted this particular processor, it was going to run you about $103 per core, where this year it's only going to run you about $53 per core. So Intel is getting aggressive on their pricing. They're getting aggressive on making sure that all their cores are hitting. So they're trying to compete with AMD. So thank you, AMD, for really lighting a fire under Intel. And if we didn't have enough Intel news, we got some more where they've released some benchmarks on their normal i9 chips that are releasing next month. So the benchmarks that are coming through on this 10th gen i9 processor is saying that it's going to be able to process up to 2 times faster than last year's Core X. They're also saying that it's going to be up to 7% faster doing rendering, 3D animation, processing photos, processing content. So they're really going after that AMD market again that has always been appealing to creators or multitaskers. So you're still going to be paying for what I would call the blue tax on these Intel chips. Prices are going to start at $590, and they're going to range up to about $970, $980, $980 across the 4 different chips that are going to be available. And it wouldn't be a tech news week without AMD jumping in. And no, it's not about them not having inventory on the 3900X. You don't have inventory still. Or the delay of the 3950X. It's 2 new processors they announced. Ryzen is releasing the R9 or the Ryzen 9 3900 and the Ryzen 5 3500X. Here's the caveat. You can't get either one of them. Only way you're getting the 3900 is if you buy a pre-built system. Those are going to be to OEM only. And the Ryzen 5 is going to China. This isn't the first time that they've done something like this. They did it in their past 2000 series. So just to let you know, if you've been waiting on these and hoping to get your hands on them for a particular build, you're not. You're either flying to China, or you live in China, or you're buying a pre-built system. Sorry. Mac has finally rolled out their new iOS 10.15 Catalina. There's been a lot of cool features that have come with this. Just want to kind of share a few that I've seen. One of them is Sidecar, which is actually pretty cool. It turns your iPad into your second display on your Mac. Don't need to connect any wires. It's wirelessly. They've rolled in Apple Arcade. I think I'm going to have to do a review on this because it's a service where it's only $5 a month. There's no in-app purchases. There's nothing. It's just the system. So I think I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, we got the Mac Catalyst, which is going to allow you to use the apps that are on your iPad on your desktop. As long as they've been updated in the iTunes store, you can shoot on over there, get the quick update, and you can get it right on your Mac now, which is pretty cool. And I guess the big... I don't want to know this, but the biggest thing, or one of the bigger things that people love using is the screen time, where it's an option and it'll tell you how long you've actually been on your phone or tablet. Well, that's come over to the desktop. I don't know if anybody really wants to know how much they're on their system. I choose no. I know I'm on a ton, so yeah, I'm good. But those are just some of the features that came in the Catalina software. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've downloaded it or if you're using it in the comments below. For those of you in the market for replacement fans or new fans, or if you've always kind of looked at what's the best of the best out there, there's a couple. I just did a review on one recently. I'll link the card up here or up here, depending on which side it pops up. So you can go check that out. But the other one that's out there is Noctua. Great fans, solid fans. They're on the high end price-wise, but unbelievable. Problem with them is they are ugly. Just ugly. It's the only term I can use. So, they have finally gone to the dark side. They are making all black fans with black coolers. So, they are actually listening to consumers after all this time. Ronald Mossig, Noctua CEO, had this to say. Our customers have been asking us for all black coolers for a long time, but we're soldering the fins to the heat pipes in order to guarantee optimal performance over many years of usage, and this production process is difficult to combine with coatings. It took a lot of time and engineering work to find an appropriate coating material and production process that gave us satisfactory thermal performance and consistent visual appearance. Now, we're proud with the end result and confident that the new chromax.Black coolers will meet the high standards Noctua users have come to expect. What that means is there is absolutely no difference between the original and the new ones, other than color. So I will drop the links down below as always, and you can go check out the pricing over on Amazon. They're ranging anywhere from $49 up to $100, depending on which model you actually purchase and what size cooler you get. Google has their upcoming event this weekend, Tuesday, I think it is the 15th, where they're going to be announcing new equipment, new hardware, and the anticipated announcement of the Pixel 4 and 4 XL. supposed to be rolling out. Well, thanks, Best Buy. Best Buy in Canada actually put up a pre-order page for a very short amount of time. That basically confirmed everything we've known about the phone. It's going to be coming with the Snapdragon processor, the 855 processor, 6 gigs of RAM. The smaller version will have a slightly downgraded display. Sizes will be 64 and 28 gigabytes. So anything that's been out there right now, Best Buy has essentially confirmed it. Only thing we don't know is price, because there was no prices listed on the site at the time we were able to get a little glimpse of it. But we'll know more come the 15th. So thanks, Best Buy. Appreciate it. More Google news. Hopefully for the best on this one. Google is rolling out a certification program for mobile phones. Specifically gaming mobile phones. Everybody has a gaming mobile phone. Everybody. They put a tag on it. It's gaming, it's this, it's that. Google has decided that they're going to go in and actually establish a program that's voluntary. It's optional if they want to use it. But if they want to put that gaming moniker on their device, they're going to have to follow these certifications. Good people over at XDA Developers were able to get their hands on a document that's outlining what specifically Google is looking for. Some of the key features is an updated GPU, newer processor, the ability for RAM to not be bogged down, which tend to be the three biggest things that you're dealing with. I'm going to attach a link to the story specifically, and we'll upload a copy of the document for you so you can check it out, see what you think. I'm all on board if they're going to put specifications on what these phones can do, especially with streaming services like the PlayStation service that's coming out, Xbox xCloud, Google Stadia. All that stuff's going to need phones that can really perform. So anything that's going to set a standard to make it better for the end users like us, all in on it, all for it. Speaking of Google Stadia, they made a claim that the service that they're going to be using is eventually going to be faster than local hardware. A streaming service that'll be faster than local hardware. Yeah, I know, you're laughing. I did the same. But this is how they're going to try to achieve this. One is called negative latency. Negative latency is AI predicting your moves. That's the only way I can really explain this. Ultimately, what they're going to do is, as you're playing the game, the system's going to learn, and it's going to help fill in the gaps and predict what your next button move or move's going to be in order to cut down on the latency. Now, if you're just playing a button masher or something that's not like a first-person shooter or something that requires twitch movement, okay, I could see how that would work there. The other way they're going to do is by inserting more frames into the system. Almost as if they're doubling up on frames to try to cut down on the latency. Only downside with that is the best you're going to get is 30 frames per second. I wish them all the luck, but the more they keep talking about this, if you're any type of slightly more than casual gamer, I just don't see how the service is going to be beneficial. I don't. It's a streaming service, and the technology's still not 100% there.
Hey everyone, did you like that video? If so, please hit that like button so I can continue to make content that I know you want to see. Hit that subscribe and ding that notification so you know when new videos go live. Make sure to follow me on all my social media accounts, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.